That was freaking 3 times I had to restart it. I picked up the shot for your reference. God attack was probably noticed. Aha! Your timing was off! Whoa! And then he flew off. We are eradicating. Yeah, this ain't too bad. If we continue with this speed, we'll have this area cleaned up in no time short. Seems to be a riddle of some sort. Not riddle, a quest to the north, and fucking FRAPS is crapping itself out again. I don't know what it is that makes it do this. It's annoying as all hell. It's completely fucking random. It's never the same game. I of course wish you guys out there could be of help, but you probably know about as much as me. You probably know just about as much as me when it comes to.
No good. We'll have to find another way.
Oh, for F's sake. Well, that puts a damper on that plan. Right. Pretty sure I saw something big over here, like something big and buckish. But it might not have been a big buck. That was those. Yeah. Okay, now that's interesting. Huh. That guy's kind of boned. He's being attacked by a spider, a giant spider and 2 hyenas. We're just like ganging up on him. I feel sorry for him if it wasn't because, you know, he's probably a dick. Well, rather him than me. You can go get boned by the wildlife, and then I can walk this way. Well, I hope that's not literally what's going to happen. I'll probably have to censor that if that what's happened. Ugh. Creepy. Moving on! Blocking that thought from my mind. Mage Snivy. Truly the strategy of champions. now that we take care of everyone who could ever claim that we didn't do this brave deed of taking out these robbers and such, we can investigate and claim our prize.
Ship 2, Frederick of Serald. Who in Andrasti's name would be out in this desert, aside from us?
A very good question. Maybe we shall have it answered. And maybe FRAPS will crab itself again. You know, having to restart it and hoping that it works when booting up doesn't exactly make my job easier, because it means all these little bits of video that I have to delete when editing. It's driving me absolutely nuts at times. There. Here comes another one. Wow. Harsh. Right, well, since we are here, we might as well investigate this camp and probably kill some Venatori. After all, that is why we are here. Well, among other things, this is why we are here. Hello? Great, more giant spiders. What's that unit here? No way! Why not? Oh, great. Red lyrium. Always a good sign. It seemed to be going after me specifically. I wonder what it had against me. Well, I mean, of course it was probably kind of pissed, but that's, you know, shot it with lightning. But the others were also kind of rough on it, so what did it have against me specifically? That's what I'm pondering. You know, spiders don't have any ribs. That's a fact. FRAPS! If this keeps up, I'm cutting off early. I'll limit how much of this I can take. Let's try to continue and hope for less issues. Now, according to the map, I think there might be plot around here. I've gone vastly off course according to my initial plan, but whatever. Because FRAPS just shat itself. You know, it's not a good thing that FRAPS is kind of turning my Dragon Age Inquisition Let's Play into a warning against using FRAPS. Just saying. It's kind of the kind of thing you want to avoid. So, those humans? I think they are.
What are the odds that all these people just happen to die here? What happened here?
A long road, stumbling through the rocks, struck from behind.
So I think we brought you. Yeah, this looks like sacrifice slaves, maybe. Hard to say. But what I do know is that there's another cave here. At least in the direction of the Venatori thingy, which is what I want to investigate. So let us go. Okay, maybe it does not lead in that direction. It's hard to determine, really. We'll see, I guess. Whoa, that looked weird. And so does this.
Someone has a lot to answer for.
What kind of device is this? Ah, it's a red lorry. Way to inject, mayhaps. Research subjects, maybe. Seems potential. Oh, here's something important. Lewis, SS get the Templars whatever they want, no question asked. So stop asking. They want refugees and travelers, we get them. Ah, yes. Oh, that sounds like a nice reparation. Is it? You know, your thing with this contraption will be something of plot relevance in here. You know, I keep bringing this up, and it's not because I want to, you know, it's not because I don't want to talk about the games, just because there's not a whole lot for me to talk about. I mean, story moves at a snail's pace, and nothing ever really happens. So, I might as well just bring this up here. So, does anybody else feel like the game was maybe a bit rushed? I mean, you see a lot of frameworks, but what I often get the feeling of, like in the last area, I got this feeling, I mean, I almost falling off my skull most of the time and really just trudging along, going through the motions, which is what keeps distracting me all the time. I'll just say, talk about anything to keep my mind going, because, frankly, the game's kind of dull when we go through these long stretches of complete non-story. The chat usually symbols long go to mark trails or hidden locations. They are often mistaken perhaps by similar carvings in the rock and trees.
Chantry symbol out here. Odd.
Right. Anyway, so that's the reason why I often ran doing this thing, because there's not much else for me to talk about, and you probably don't want me to keep complaining about FRAPS. I mean, personally, I'm kind of iffed by it when somebody's let's playing and just going off on a rant about something that's not even related, but you know what? I can often forgive it if it's like nothing's happening, and nothing's happening. Claim a quarry, sure. But what I'm thinking is, it seems like all these areas like had a story. Like many of these areas feel like they had a story, or at least were intended to have one. But does it feel like they kind of... I don't know, does it feel kind of like they ran out of time? Like they just had these areas in the framework, and then they just ran out of time and never got to implement all the story we were perhaps thinking about? It just seems like there should have been more. Many of these areas seem to indicate there should be a story, but when it comes down to it, nothing's happening. Just you walking around collecting shit. I don't know, maybe there's something really fantastic going on, but it seems like there's a lot of the story, a lot less story than it used to be. I mean, when's the last time I made a real choice? This is an RPG, for Christ's sake. Making your own choice is one of the defining things. One of the real things you had to do before coming here is like go through his test and be like, what did you do different in the games? What made your choices? And in this, it's just like, when was the last time I made a choice? The last time I made a choice was, you know, in regards to Dorian, whether I wanted to tell him about his parents or not. And jeez, that's gotta hurt. Well, at some point it hurt. That's probably not much hurting right now. Unless it was a ghost. My point is, it's just like, where's the story? That was one of the highlights of the series. It's just like, it seems like they came up with a lot of gameplay and not a lot of story. So, is it just me? I know I keep complaining about this because, quite frankly, it keeps sticking out like a sore bump or bumps. I'm about to have a fit. The barren, desolate waste filled with random encounters. The 100th hyena or spider that I'm killing. The sand. Look at all this sand. Want me to talk about it? You want to talk about how all that's not happening? Okay, that's fucking it. I'm finding this camp and then I'm quitting. I'm in FRAPS can't behave, then I can't play. I'll have a fucking aneurysm. It's just like nothing. It's just all this nothing. It's dull. It's tedious. It leads nowhere. Where's my... You know what? I actually like the story in this game. Don't get me wrong. I actually find it really engaging. I was really interested in it. But why is there no story anywhere? I mean, you might say, oh, but you're gone off the main story. Yeah, but that was never a problem in the other games, now was it? In 1 and 2, it was still like you went off the path and went into side quests and stuff. You still find interesting stories, small stories. Hey, remember that one time where...
to set up camp, perhaps?
Yes. Hey, remember that one time in the second game where leading off track involved you confronting a crazed murderer? And you then have to decide whether you want to spare him or not? Knowing that, you know, his father will just get him exonerated despite him killing kids? Griffin wing might have been. None of the wings of adamant, but brave griffins who gave their lives served to keep a blind at bay. In war, victory, in peace, vigilance, and death, sacrifice. Fantastic. Out here in the middle of nowhere where nobody will ever see it. What a monument. It's just like, here, when you go off the main story, or the companion stories, you find nothing. You just find gameplay, and let me be honest, the gameplay is not exciting. The gameplay cannot stand on its own. The gameplay in this and all the other Dragon Age games has needed constant reinforcement from the story because it's just not that interesting on its own. And that's fair enough, it's been serviceable before because you constantly had other things with story to take it up. And then the gameplay didn't matter as much, it didn't hurt as much. Even the long stretches like... Even the long stretches of non-story, like, you know, when traveling the tunnels back in the first game, when you're away to finding the anvil.
Inquisitor.
It was still something, but here, no such thing. It's just draining. I'm trudging along because I want to see the end of the story. I really want to. But I'll be honest, the game's not doing a lot to keep me interested. Anyway, we seem to have, you know, still managed to do a lot though. So that should make me, so that makes me somewhat satisfied. Yeah, next time we'll take the outer. With luck, we can handle this next time. Hopefully, FRAPS will be more corporate. Bleh. It'll work with me. That's what I'm trying to say. This has been Eric Cobra, and this has been Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition Blind. See you all around.